Hi, my name is Ratnakar Rai and I'm a trained horticulturalist. I've had, and especially in the controlled environment agriculture. And one of the things we're going to talk to you today about is media and the difference between media that we use in pot and potting mixes and the soil that everybody is used to. Now, soil has some disadvantages. It's very heavy, and if you have to move those pots with soil inside in them, it's very cumbersome and it could hurt your back. So the horticultural science has developed media which is mainly soilless and that grows plants much better than soil. So I'll talk to you about some of the components of the media and how you could manage that media in your homes. Media basically has many components, but the three broad main components would be the mineral soil, what they call the solid part that you see, the water and air. Now we try to balance all these three in certain ratios, at the same time keeping the media light so you can pick up a plant and move it around. When the water is drained out of those which are leachates, they are not, they don't discolor your surroundings, and they don't, in a sense, they're easier and they hold the right amount of water, so the plants are taken care of. So media should always be from a very sustainable source, which should be locally available. You shouldn't be hauling, you shouldn't be trying to buy media from faraway places. As far as possible, it should be stuff that you grow in the country itself. So we here have coco peat. Now, coco peat is a soil-like media which is the pith of the coconut fruit, which has its own. It's very spongy in nature. The molecule, the small little granules here are very spongy in nature, and it holds water, and it holds a lot of water. Sometimes it may not be very advisable just to use coco peat alone because it holds too much water. So we try to stabilize them before we put them in the potting, in the pots, and the plants are put in. Besides that, you need to feed your plants. Now that sometimes could get challenging in a home situation where you do not want to be, keeping fertilizer and things in the house. So the solution is these beads here, which are called slow release fertilizer. Now these are either bacteria activated or polymer based. The polymer based is very suited for our sterile media operations. Now this comes in a couple of variants. It's sold at in 3-month slow release, 6 months slow release, or a year. So you can put these beads once a year, so that it keeps giving the plants nutrition for over a period of time that's mentioned on the bags. So you're not putting in fertilizer from your side. It already has those fertilizer charges, and all you have to do is to irrigate the pots, and that also not too much. People make the mistake of over irrigating their plants, and that's the major loss for plants at home. So keep the watering down, and there are several ways to test how much to water, when not to water. I would say always try to keep it at medium or less than medium wet. Don't try to oversaturate your media with moisture. Now, how do you know that the pot has moisture? So what you could do is to take any spoon or some sort of a metal object. Okay, let's say this is the holding part of the spoon. You put it into the media, okay, and you take it out and you run your finger on the blade and you see if there's moisture on your finger. If there is, don't put water in it. Let it go down a little bit more, and then you can judge whether there's plenty of water in the media or not just by putting a spoon in there and seeing how wet it gets. So medias, we develop medias for different plant types. All plants are not the same. So our potting mixes, we vary them and we put them in the and to suit the plant. Some plants tolerate more water, need more water, so they will have a less of some component. Some plants need a lot of dryness, so the other components might help it keep it dry. Drainage is very important. Whenever you water in a media, some of that water should be coming out of the bottom so that it kind of self-cleans itself. That's called leachates. So there should always be leachates, and we recommend something like about 20%. So let's say you put in 100 ml of water, you should be getting down 20 ml of water coming down on the base. So then you're okay. You're managing a good amount of water moisture in the plant, in the pots. Now the other thing, there's several different types of media. The media developed for rose plants, the media developed for indoor plants, for succulent plants, for different applications. We develop the media. Thank you very much for spending some time with me, and I hope you picked up some information about media. And if there's lots of things you can learn about media, but thank you very much. Always try to replace soil with media. It'll help you in your growing. Happy growing, and thank you again.